Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. I am Danny,
And I,
and this is my daughter, Maya slash Artemis, who made it in by the skin of her teeth.
just in time. I just saw your message and I was like, oh no.
This is the place where we get together as a family, eat our lunch, drink our coffee or other beverage, and talk about life, yarn, and other things in that order. Okay. How's it going, girlie?
Bruh, stuff is happening.
But before we get into the stuff that's happening, do you want me to start with something light or do you want, because I saw the rundown, do you want to start with something light or?
How about I start with the bad news and then you cheer it up with something like after?
Okay, because
We'll do
I think everything else in this podcast is going to be light. So let's go ahead and start with your stuff while I eat my food.
Yeah, I'll start with the worst of it is I don't want to say like a whole bunch because it's not really like my business to be spreading, but one of my friends just had just like a significant life event that is not a good life event. And so and he's like my one of my best friends. And so I just spent, that's why I'm artist the fatigued today again, because we spent all of yesterday completely moving him out of his apartment. We were able to fully, yes, like this life event happened on Tuesday and he didn't start packing anything before, and so we fully packed everything, moved everything into a U-Haul, and then moved part of that stuff from the U-Haul into a storage unit, and then the rest of it into the place where he's staying now, all yesterday.
See, for those watching, I know the life event, but again, not your business.
Mm.
So, but I was praying that it would get resolved, that it was just a blip, but I guess it wasn't a blip.
Yeah, it seems like maybe it could get resolved later on in the future, and you and I could talk about that later. But what you people need to know is I spent all of yesterday packing up an entire house and I'm exhausted. I am so like, I got home, I was running off of like coffee and dreams apparently because I didn't eat anything when I got up that morning, and then we got up that morning at 9 in the morning because he came over to pick me up because our car again is still not running. So he came to pick me up in the morning, and sorry, someone walked in, and at like 9 in the morning, so that he could also drive my husband to work. And then we kept doing things, and then I did not eat anything until sorry, I don't know where it is. I think it's over there. Sorry, distracted by housemates. But I did not eat anything until like 9:30 p.m. So I got up at 9 in the morning, did not eat breakfast. We did not eat anything while we were packing because I wasn't really thinking about it because my daily medicine makes me not hungry. And so he was like, "Oh, I'll get you dinner for helping me do all this stuff." And so I got dinner and I got home, and as soon as I took a bite of that burger, I was like, I was starving. And then I got up this morning and like my muscles are sore, like my arms are sore, my back is sore. I was fine yesterday. Like I was tired yesterday, but I was fine. But then I got up today and I was like, oh man, I am so like my lower back because I lifted a couch. For anyone who doesn't know me, that I have no upper body strength. So we lifted a couch. We moved multiple like entertainment centers and like dressers and stuff and all kinds of stuff. I'm just tired. But yeah, that's that. So everybody's saying good vibes for my friend that this situation improves. But that was yesterday. But then the only other life news that I have is actually good life news. The My tag on my car was expired, and I was thinking like, oh no, this is going to be like so much money because I got pulled over and got a ticket for my tag being expired. And so I was like, okay, I know how to take care of this because it's happened before. I just need to go get the car inspected, get the new tag, and then like go to the courthouse and say, hey, I have the new tag. Please don't charge me $220. And so I was worried that the inspection and the getting of the new tag was going to be real expensive. Under $60, all of it.
Oh, good. good, good,
Yes, so I
good.
was able to take care of all that under $60 and like just in time too cuz I had forgotten about the ticket with all of like my friend's life stuff and my own personal life stuff going on. I completely forgotten about the ticket that cuz we got it back in January and the ticket wasn't due until March.
Hmm.
Do you know what day that ticket was due? What day my court date was?
I
This upcoming Tuesday.
oh no.
I just realized yesterday that all this needed to be done, but I got it done before Tuesday. So that's good. And then also, I have a job interview on Saturday. I applied because I applied to work at anybody who knows. I think I've talked about it before. I previously worked at Bojangles and shit went down there, and so I didn't want to go back, but I was like, it's I can't. I'm 30 now. 30 means I can swear in front of my mother.
Okay.
But yeah, stuff happened over there, and so I didn't want to go back. But I was like, this is the most recent job that I had, the one that I have most prevalent in my memory, so I wouldn't have to like really go through full training or anything. It would be just kind of jumping back in. But I put in my application in Bojangles over a month ago, and they have not gotten back to me, even though I'm in contact with one of the managers, and they're like, yeah, they're still like going over things, waiting for the application. And I'm like, okay, this is taking far too long because we do still need to move in May and I need to be making a bit more money because I'm doing the babysitting, but it's not making like a whole lot. And so like literally day before yesterday, I applied to be an overnight stalker at Ingles. And yesterday they called and said, hey, can we do an interview? And I'm like, sure, absolutely. Let's try this out. So I have an interview on Saturday.
Oh, that's going to be physical. You're going to be
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be away from people, so I don't have to deal so much with like the emotional stress. Hopefully, I can just like kind of keep to myself and like listen to podcasts or something while I'm doing it. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Well, good, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You like your volume went down a little bit, but
Because I have my,
okay.
but I didn't want to chew in anybody's ear. So,
You're good. But yeah, those are all of my current life events going on.
okay. Well, I guess I'll have to put my food down now.
You can put your
First
food down. I'm gonna
off,
pick my food up. I have a
first
muffin.
off, something happened when I got this meal the last time. It was flavorful, and I said, "Oh, this is yummy. I'll get this one again." I guess I must have added some soy sauce or something before I ate it because I'm eating it now, and it is very bland.
Where'd you get it from?
And oh, it's just a frozen
Oh, mm,
and
I've had those before, and they are kind of bland. I usually have to add soy sauce.
well, the chicken one, I don't put anything on it. It tastes fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm eating the shrimp one, and the shrimp one is I must have put something on it last time because it is bland. Ah,
Ah, what? Emergency? Is it a spider? Is it aliens?
no,
The zombie
my
apocalypse?
hand lotion fell in my coffee.
Ugh.
Oh, don't think I'm not gonna drink my coffee. I just made it.
Ugh. Absolutely not. That coffee would be done for me.
I'm sorry. I'm thirsty. Okay, so
You do
I am
you.
drinking my coffee with French vanilla creamer. The mug, courtesy of your sister.
Mm-hmm.
She painted it one of those, sip and paint
Sip and
wine
paint things.
things.
Nice.
Hmm. I'm sure you've seen this mug before. It's very cool. I'm showing it for everybody else. It's got flames on one side, or I think it looks like flames to me, but I think it's supposed to be like coral
Mm-hmm.
because on the other side you've got the
Crab.
yeah. Your daughter, your sister, the one who is not the artist, is actually a very good artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen some of her stuff. I guess I don't think I realized that she knew how to draw or really liked drawing or painting until like
Because
way
she
later
didn't,
on.
because just like you didn't really focus. You focused on music in high school, and Chloe focused on art, but then she never draws anything now.
Mm.
And it took me forever to remember that she did not graduate college with an art major. I feel like she did, but she did not.
She was graphic design, right?
No, it's like new media. It's like
Oh,
digital. It's like video editing and stuff.
all these fancy things.
Yeah, so she doesn't really draw anymore. And your sister, who focused on English, is the one who draws the best out of the three of you. What?
Go
I mean,
figure.
go figure. I don't understand. But she doesn't want that to be her thing. The other thing, which is not really a life thing, I'm tired. Okay. Number one. Number two, as you can see, we're sitting in the closet today.
I was wondering why we were looking at the closet and said that bright yellow Marilyn Monroe wall.
Translation, I was too lazy to bring my other computer in here into the office. So we're sitting on my actual work computer because
Ooh.
which my boss really doesn't care. She said use the computer for whatever you want to. She doesn't care.
Hmm.
But for me personally, I felt like I wanted to keep my personal stuff separate from my work stuff. So
Hmm.
I don't put I try to avoid putting work stuff on this personal stuff
Personal
on
stuff, yeah.
this computer. I use the other one for gaming and whatever. But that way I can also keep this computer here instead of moving it back into the bedroom in
Hmm.
the evenings when I'm hanging out and stuff. So
Yeah.
that makes things, even though it's a
Meanwhile, I have to
laptop,
move my
I
laptop all over my house.
even though it's a laptop, I treat it like a desktop and I leave it sitting here. But anyway, so I am tired. I have been tired all week. I
Same.
have not. I think it's part of a flare because I'm more tired. I went through a period where I felt like I could do stuff, and
Hmm.
now I'm in a period where I feel like I'm too tired to do anything. So
Yeah, you were saying last week that you were starting to go into like a tired slump
yeah,
that you're waiting to get out of.
translation, I waited too long to do my laundry. So I gotta put my clothes in the dryer before they start to stink. So I yeah, my washing machine, as long as you take the clothes and put them straight in the dryer, you're fine. If you leave them in there for a few hours, they don't smell nice.
Hmm.
So anyway, I said, we're doing the video today. My head is crooked. We're doing the video today, so I need to put some clothes on. So I grabbed whatever from the bottom of my clean laundry pile and this shirt that I have on. When they make plus size shirts, they do not allow for the fact that a lot of plus size women have big butts and big bellies,
Hmm.
because this shirt might as well be, you can't see it because, but this might as well be a crop top
Ooh.
because from it fits me. I'm a 2X from here down to under my chest,
Hmm.
like under my breasts, right where your bra band would be. But
Hmm.
then below that, I need like a 5X. You need to, because
For the booty.
the shirt needs to flare out.
Hmm.
So I'm pulling the shirt down and it's rolling back up under my chest.
I saw a TikToker talking about that. I think it was, I may have sent you the video, but she was talking about, but she has like a big booty from like working out and exercising and like the big muscle thighs or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
she has a similar problem of,
I was just born with a big booty.
you were born with it, but she has a similar problem of her top section is smaller than her bottom section, and so what she does is she'll take the seams and she'll just slit up the sides of the seams of her
Mhm.
shirt, and it makes a pretty flattering like tunic kind of shape,
Uh-huh.
where it'll stop like about at your belly button, and so you don't
Mhm.
have to worry, and it'll show like the cute like sides of your pants, like if you're wearing
Mhm.
leggings or whatever. Maybe you should try that.
Yeah, I should do that. Well, I mean, this shirt in particular, it's not worth it because it's just a bummy white t-shirt. But
Well, I mean, you could test it on the bummy white t-shirt before you do it on a shirt that you really like.
true, true. Also, what is the temperature here in my
Ooh, what's the
part of the
temperature
world?
here?
Because as you can see,
Can you
yeah,
beat
it's
61 degrees?
73.
Ah!
73. So I'm fanning this time not because of hot flashes, because my black cohosh has finally kicked in. I knew it was going to take two full packages before it kicked in. What?
Your what?
I've mentioned this before, but I usually just call it the menopause herbs, but
Oh,
it's black cohosh and something else mixed together
I
that's
don't think
supposed
you've
to
ever
be.
told me what the actual herbs are. You just said like menopause herbs or menopause medicine. I don't think you've ever actually. So I was like, what new age, newfangled drug is my mother being conned into right now?
No, it's an old. Okay, I have to say it because everybody on video says it, but if you can hear this, I'm sorry, but it's hot in here.
I mean, as long as you're facing away, I don't hear it because you and your chair are blocking it since it's behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't hear
But
it.
well, I never hear it when people do that either, but you know. So, what was I going to say?
Your kohash.
Yes, black cohosh is an old thing. Native Americans apparently have been using it on their ladies for menopause. So it's been around for ages. They say that all the evidence is anecdotal that as to whether it helps with hot flashes and night sweats, but
Mm-hmm.
I know the last time I took it and by the time I got to the end of the second pack, I was like, "Oh, I don't need this anymore because I'm not having hot flashes anymore." And then I stopped taking it,
And then the
and
hot flashes came
and
back.
then it took about a month or so for it to get out of my system, and
Mm-hmm.
then the hot flashes came back with a vengeance. So now it has taken me 2 months because you take one a day. So now it has taken me 2 months to get this stuff back in my system. And so now I'm just about at the end of my second pack and I'm just now starting to feel relief. So these fans, so I'm not waking up in the middle of the night throwing my blankets off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to keep reminding myself, keep taking it
Even though it
because
feels like you don't need it.
keep taking it because I've been doing more research. Coincidentally, there's a company that sells synthetic medicines because what I'm taking is herbs, but there's
Mm-hmm.
a company that sells synthetic medicines that work for what is called, what do they call it? VMS is the new fancy name for it. It's like vasomuscular, I forget what it's called. Basically, it's a fancy name for the fact that women who have menopause have hot flashes and night sweats.
Okay.
That's the medical name for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just got FDA approval for some kind of drug. So now there are commercials everywhere going, "Do you know what VMS is? Do you know what VMS is?" to try to sell people on buying this drug or whatever.
Yeah.
So as part of
That.
the so now all the articles are really starting to pop to the surface.
Uh
It's
huh.
not just the fact that I'm in menopause, so I'm aware of them. It's because they got this drug, and it's
Mm.
all the articles are popping to the surface. And one of the things that I have learned is that a you can have these hot flashes for like because technically menopause is 1 day.
Huh?
Technically everything before it is perimenopause, which means your body leading up and you starting to skip periods and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to the 12-month mark, which I hit I think a couple weeks ago, once you
Mm-hmm.
get to the 12-month mark where it has been exactly 12 months since your last period, then that day is considered menopause, and then everything after that is your postmenopausal. So I know it's weird, but
Okay.
even after you hit that point, you can still go 4 or 5 more years having the hot flashes and all the other symptoms of
Mm.
menopause. So it takes longer for the rest of that stuff
For
to
the
go away.
symptoms to go away.
One. Number two, they've shown in some preliminary studies that black women go 7 or 8 years past. So I might as well just take stock and fill my medicine
Yeah, just fill it
cabinet
up. You're gonna be dealing with this for a
because
hot
I'm
minute.
buying like 1 pack a month trying to be conservative because it costs me $10 for a pack, and you know how cheap I am. But I might as well buy 2 packs at a time at least.
Mm.
And because $20 is my limit before I start feeling anxious about buying anything. So I might as well buy 2 packs at a time and be done with it. And it's supposed to have another the blend that I'm buying supposedly has another herb in it to help with weight management.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people in menopause gain weight as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed that my weight was going back up when I went off of
We
the
went off the
herbs.
medicine. Mm-hmm.
And now I noticed last week it's starting to come back down. Although I'm
Okay.
not really doing anything different with my food or whatever. So so I don't really pay attention that much to the weight management thing because I'm not, you
That's not
know,
what you're taking it for.
yeah, that's not what I'm taking it for. And I'm more focused on when it comes to fitness, I'm more focused on can I climb these stairs and not feel like I'm going to die? It
Mm.
doesn't matter what weight I
Yep.
am, but can I climb these stairs and not feel like I'm going to die?
Do I need to hide how hard I'm breathing when this person walks
E-
up beside me?
exactly. Exactly.
I saw the funniest video. I think I sent it to you. I know I sent it to my friend
Hmm.
Miranda, but I think I sent it to you. And the person, he's like, ah, ah,
Yep.
ah, and then someone walks in, ah, ah, ah.
Exactly.
So funny.
Exactly.
Ooh, this just in, we have a news update. One of our friends who is in Georgia, you know the friend, one of our
Uh-huh.
friends who is in Georgia, there is, they're in Walmart and, or I think working in Walmart, and Walmart is under a code black tornado watch right now. And he's like
What the
in the store.
heck? Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
crazy.
Oh
So everybody send good vibes for just all of Georgia. What is going on? Georgia gets tornadoes?
well, yeah, we all get tornadoes here in our part of the world.
Do we?
Hmm.
I've never. Maybe it's because I've been in the mountains so long. Because don't the mountains like break up tornadoes? Like there's a break there in the air, so we don't really get tornadoes here.
I don't know.
I feel like I heard that. I feel like that's definitely real science that Hank Green would say on TikTok.
Probably.
But yeah, send your good vibes because we are waiting to hear if he is safe. So we have done our life updates, unless you have any more life updates.
If I do, they'll be scattered throughout.
All right.
I try not to scatter them, but they pop up, of their own accord.
That's how we run
So
this
we are moving
podcast
on
over here.
to exactly. So we're moving on to the Yarny Crafty thoughts. Are you keeping an eye on the comments?
Oh, I didn't even switch over there. Oh my goodness. I switched over. We're good.
No, there's nobody there, but I like to go full screen, but I don't want to go full screen if I can't see the comments. So
Yeah, you can. I'll let you know if somebody shows up. Because there's the private chat and then the public comments, and I forgot to switch it over from the private chat, so I can keep an eye on it. But we're good. So, how much work have you gotten
so
done on your hoodie?
not much at all. I haven't been. I'm gonna tell you up front. I haven't gotten much of anything crafty done
Same.
this week. So the only thing I I didn't do any coloring this week. I was gonna bring out my sticker book. I found my sticker book, by the way. It was in my lap desk that I
Mm-hmm.
had sitting to the side. So I forgot that I had tucked it inside the lap desk because it was just the right size that I didn't see it sticking out of the lap desk.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, um I got so tired of working on that thing that I thought I was going to throw it across the room. And so I've got maybe, let's see, I'm not even going to drag it out. I left it in the other room because it's not showing any difference. But I can tell you what row I'm on. I am
Mm-hmm.
on, come on, come on. I'm on row 36 of the back.
Okay.
So I got roughly 6 rows done since the last time we talked about this.
Yeah, I am. I'm pulling up my counter right now to see what row I'm on because told myself I was going to try to finish just that panel, and then my whole week was thrown into turmoil. But I'm on row 65, so I'm pretty close to the 78 that I need to do
So
before
neither
finishing
one,
through the
for
neckline.
those watching, we're talking about our crochet along. If you're watching after, the fact we're talking about our crochet along, we're making a cozy hoodie. I'm not going to pull the video up today because I am lazy. Um, but I'll put if you're watching this after the live stream, which of course you are because nobody watches this live stream, you I'll have a link in the notes to the hoodie. I'm gonna tell you up front, it looks cute. Nothing against the designer of the hoodie, but we're not posting this as a recommendation because we are both very frustrated with this stitch and how long it takes.
Yeah,
But
it looks cute, and once it's done, it's going to be very nice. I'm trying to find where the end of my hoodie is. It looks cute, and once it's done, it's going to be very nice and very like plush and squishy, which is good. It's going to be a very,
Mhm.
I can feel it's going to be a very comfortable hoodie. I'm pulling mine up right now, but it's this stitch just like eats up your yarn, just all of it. It's just oof, devours.
And you
Like
feel
I've
like
got.
you're not getting anywhere
Mm,
when you're working on it.
can you see it?
Look at
I,
you! Look at you!
so this is let's see. I would say so. All of this is about a skein and a half of persimmon, the salmon color. That's what a skein and a half of persimmon in this stitch gets you. This doesn't feel like it. It doesn't even feel like it should be a whole skein. But it's so like there's just so much of
No,
it.
when you look at mine, it doesn't feel like it should be a whole skein. And I already finished a whole skein. I'm halfway through the second skein.
Hmm.
And I'm still not done up the back yet.
Yeah, I'm not done either. I've still got to get to 78 before we scoop up the do the next scoop because I keep forgetting. I'm like, oh, 78, and then I can move to another panel. No, get to row 78, and then you can start doing all the next stuff.
Hmm. But at least the next step will give you something interesting to do. It won't be boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those watching, the yarn I'm using, which is Walmart's Mainstays, which is their cheap store brand, is because it's what I had on hand, and I knew it was going to take a lot of yarn for this sweater. I thought doing a 3X, and um it's like 395 yards per skein. I've already done. I've already used a skein and a half going up the back, and I'm only halfway up the back. So it's
Yeah.
going to take probably 4 skeins to finish the back of this sweater.
Yeah, and
And
I got mine. Joann's was having a Black Friday sale on their website, and so I got a bunch of skeins of Karen Simply Soft. I can't remember how many skeins I got now. They're in the box behind me, but I don't feel like counting or pulling it out. But I've got half my skeins in the persimmon, and then half of my skeins in. It looks black on camera. This is actually a charcoal. And so half of my skeins are in that color. I need to turn my volume down. Vibrate, please. Um, and my plan is to do just organic stripes, like just whenever I feel like them stripes in this, but primarily persimmon for the body of the sweater, and then on the sleeves of the sweater it's going to be again organic stripes, but primarily charcoal.
so you're doing crazy stripes.
Basically, I'm just doing stripes when I feel like doing stripes. I might add a stripe for this next row. Actually, no, I
I
won't
just,
because I don't feel like going to grab my charcoal.
but the whole time I'm working on it, it's like I could finish a baby blanket with the amount of yarn I'm putting into the back of this sweater.
This feels like it should be a baby blanket right now.
Uh huh. It
Ooh,
does.
this stitch would probably make a good baby blanket. It's real
Because there's
plush.
no shaping yet, so it feels like
It feels just a big piece of fabric.
a big piece of fabric. And because we're doing the larger plus sizes, is going across my lap. It feels like a lap blanket.
Mm-hmm. I think. Did you work on anything else?
Yes, because excuse me, y'all.
You're good. I keep looking at how aggressive my eyebrows look in the camera today.
Because you shaved the outside of
Yep,
it.
I got my baby
And now
brows.
you look like a villain.
You get what you
Yeah,
worked on, and
I mean,
I'm
I
trying to pull
can't
up what I got.
talk because my eyebrows are barely there. So
Yeah, I
I
shave them
used to
off to
think
like here and then like fill them in.
I had thick eyebrows, but
Yeah, but
I
you
guess since
also went through
the
the
edge of
90s where
mine was
everybody had
there.
like pencil thin eyebrows.
Oh no, I didn't do that thing though.
Mm,
I'm old enough to remember that phase of the pencil thin eyebrows, but I think I've plucked my eyebrows a total of 5 times in my life.
mm.
I was just not a girl who wanted to be bothered with that. So I always just let my thick eyebrows fly. But I think my eyebrows have just naturally fallen out now because they don't, there's not much there.
Well, I mean, mine are naturally this dark. I can let's pick up the camera so you guys can see up close and personal while you're getting your stuff. Mine are like filled in with
Yeah, that's another thing I
makeup.
keep forgetting that people, when I see people in pictures and stuff, just like when I was a little kid and I would see black girls with straight hair, I didn't know what relaxers were. And I was like, why does their hair do that and my hair doesn't do that? And it took me forever to realize what relaxers were.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to remind myself that when I, even at my advanced age, still have to remind myself that when I see people with dark eyebrows, that they've probably used some pencil. If it's in some sort of magazine picture or something, they most definitely use some pencil or something on their eyebrows.
Or
But
if you're like me and don't feel like digging out a pencil, eyeshadow.
you're a weirdo. But no, I went ahead and started knitting something because when I get frustrated with one craft, it helps me to do a different craft.
Mm.
And because I was watching a show with your father, I didn't want to color because coloring made me,
You
I
have to
wouldn't be able
really
to
be
see
down in it.
in it, so I can't see the show. So, but this is, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna work on this, and I'm gonna have this done by the time we have the next video. I thought I'm gonna have 7.5 inches of this knit before we get to the next video. I have about 1.5 inches knit,
What did
but
you start? What is it? Ooh.
it is a bag.
Okay.
It is a bag. I'll
I
pull
still
up.
haven't lined the other bag that I was making.
I just grabbed a ball of,
Ooh, earthy. I like it.
let's see,
That feels like red heart, maybe.
did I turn some? Oh, it's definitely red heart.
Oh, okay. Now we got some color.
You
Looks
see
like
it?
purples and yellows and greens and blues.
Yeah, it's purple. Oh, this light in my face is. Oh, I can't. Yeah, it's like it's very dusty. It's very
Mhm.
dusty colors.
Yeah.
This without the light is more representative of what color it is.
Hmm.
It's very dusty, like dusty blue, dusty green, you know, not really a yellow, but like if you took a yellow and threw some dust on it. It's
Hmm.
just all very dusty colors. I can't remember the name of it. I have like half a skein of it because it's floppy. You can see how floppy it is. So the middle's gone.
Hmm.
I can't remember what I made out of it to begin with because I do not own anything made out of that. So I don't know what.
So you must have given it away to somebody or something.
I can't imagine even giving that to anybody. I feel like I bought that because I thought I liked the color. And I'm sure I have a patch somewhere, like maybe an Afghan square or something where I tried it
Mm.
out, but I just can't find it. So I just pulled that up just to, I mean, pulled it out so I I knew it was going to be, just knitting in the round for 7.5 inches. I thought
Hmm.
that would be a good thing to work on, and I overestimated how quickly I was going to get that done. As usual, I think that because I'm using a size like 6 needles or something. It's supposed to be a bag, so you don't want there to be holes.
Hmm.
You want it to be tight because normally I would use an 8 with worsted weight yarn, but I'm using a 6 to keep it tight.
And so making sure that
I'm
I'm not
pulling
confusing.
up.
So if you say a size 6 needle. What is that in millimeters? Is it just 6 millimeters or?
That's a 4 mil. That's a 4 millimeter 4 millimeter needle.
Okay, so size 6 means 4 millimeter because there's all these different
Yes.
naming and sizing conventions. Make me so frustrated.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
know. I know.
new update. Everybody at Walmart is safe. The tornado has been spotted 4 or 5 miles away, and they are able to like safely go about their business.
Yay.
For anyone keeping track.
So that's what I'm making.
I have been seeing those bags, seeing patterns of those bags, because that's the like Japanese something kind of bag, right? Japanese market bag or something is what
It's
I've
called
always
a
seen.
dumpling bag. It's called
Okay.
a dumpling bag. The pattern that I'm using
Mm-hmm.
is a free pattern by a yarn shop called Pearl Soho. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not by a Japanese designer, but
Well,
I'm
the
sure
people that
they
I've seen
probably got
it's
it from
called it a Japanese something bag because
yeah.
it's popular in Japan, I
So
guess.
I'm sure this is just their version of the
Uh huh.
Japanese bag or whatever. But this is what I'm making. But this is also using a technique that I've not used before. Excuse me, because if you look, okay, yeah, you can see my cursor. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
right where my cursor is, that's
Yeah.
where you cast on, but you're using a provisional cast on. Okay.
Using sorry, you're breaking up just a little
So
bit from the internet.
you're
So that's where you cast on, and you're using a what cast on?
a provisional cast on. And that's
What is
something that
that?
I've not done before, or I can't remember doing it before. Basically, there's different ways to do it, but the easiest way for you to understand is that you crochet a chain and
Mm-hmm.
then you use your crochet hook, I mean, use your knitting needle to pick up stitches in the chain. And then you use your real yarn. You're doing waste yarn for this. Then you use your real yarn to actually knit. Okay. And so then I'm knitting all the way down to the bottom of the bag. Okay. From where I cast on there. I'm knitting onto the bottom of the bag. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I get done, I you go back to the edge where the waste yarn is. You pull
Mm-hmm.
that out because you
Mm-hmm.
know how you can just pull a chain out? You
Yeah.
pull that out and you put your needle through those live stitches on the other end,
And then knit up the
and
other way
then
for the
you
handle?
knit up the other way for the handles.
What?
I've never done this technique before, but I figured this would be a simple way to start it. Because even though I have been knitting, I learned to, as we've said before, I can go ahead and take this off the screen. I'll put the link in the show notes for anybody who's interested in making this bag. Because so far it seems really simple and it's a free
Mm.
pattern. Okay. But what was I saying?
You've
I was
never done
saying
this
words.
before, but so far.
Oh, so far it's so far it's fun to knit because it's kind of like a mindless, but not in the way of the hoodie that we're making. The hoodie that we're making is also kind of mindless, but it's like
You
I
still
don't know
have to
this.
focus a little bit to make sure that you are doing the correct number of yarn overs and pull throughs
Hmm. Yeah,
for that. And with me in particular, I have to make
yeah.
sure I'm not splitting my friggin' yarn.
Hmm. Yeah, there is a little bit of focus because you do have to go in the right holes to make sure you're doing it properly. And for a while, I had to remember to chain one after I did that
Yes.
cluster stitch.
Tell me why for the first like 30 rows, I kept
And
having to go back.
well, I didn't go back, but like I would, because I would do a row, and then when you come back the other way, you can tell, oh, I forgot to chain one on this one because this hole is real tight.
Yeah, not like go back like frog a row, but like I would do a stitch and then I'd go to do another stitch and realize something's wrong. And so I'd have to back out and realize I missed the chain one, and I do a few stitches, and then I do
Mhm.
another stitch and realize I didn't chain one, so I'd have to back out, which like it feels like backing out a single stitch is not much, but when that
Mhm.
stitch ends with you having 5 loops on your hook,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I don't know. Like I said, and I know anybody watching this is probably tired of hearing it, but it feels like, um, God, life's driving me crazy. It feels like this is just going nowhere. I mean, it feels a little bit better now that I have my counter in front of me and I can see, oh, I'm 36 stitches in
mm-hmm.
now. So I'm over halfway. Something about passing that 30 mark made me feel a little bit better about working on it. But I did 6 more rows and I'm like, I can't look at this anymore. I can't look at this anymore. And like I said, when I get to a point of I can't look at it anymore, I can't pick up another, like if the project is crochet, I can't pick up another crochet. I need to pick up something else.
Mm-hmm.
I need to color, or I need to knit, or I need to, cross stitch or do something different from the one that's driving me crazy.
I feel you. Being in now that I'm in the 60s and knowing that row 78 is going to be the last row that I do like this before I can like do something else. I'm like, it's the home
Mhm.
stretch. I can see the finish line. I just need to get through this. But I also took a break from my hoodie for a little while because everything this week has been absolute chaos, but also I needed to go back and do more of the cup cozies. And so I was, anybody who remembered seeing the streams previously, I was knitting the cup cozies, and knitting them was just taking forever because I'm not a bad knitter, but I am a slower knitter than I am a crocheter. And then also with knitting, I am not as familiar with it, so I don't know as many like tips and tricks of like tucking in yarn and doing stuff like that. I don't even know if that exists with knitting. But with crocheting, I know when I can like just tuck a piece of yarn or carry a piece of yarn over and it won't show through, or like I can just let it hang in the back and pull it up somewhere and it won't show through, like, and it'll be fine. And so I decided to crochet a couple cup cozies. I've got this one because also, yeah, I did not want to weave in all this ends because the cup cozies that I'm doing, they're specifically like rainbow for like pride cozies because the people that are buying them, they have a like LGBT friendly like restaurant, and so that's what I was doing for them. And so I found a pattern and I crocheted a cozy. And it's there you go. Now you can kind of see it's got like bobble kind of stitches in it. So it's got some texture to it. And then it's got you can't see because it's black and I'm wearing black, but there's a buttonhole loop right there. So it'll wrap around and I just need to sew a button on. And then I think that will also help me with, because before I was like kind of guesstimating the size of how big it needed to be so that it would fit onto the cup. With this, I just really need to like put it around a cup and mark where where the button needs to be, and then I can sew the button on, and that is a lot easier.
Mhm.
And so I think I'm going to I've still got a few of the ones that I made knitting that I'm going to finish off, and then I think I'm probably going to make the rest of them like this because this was so much easier, so much quicker.
So how are the little coffee mugs going to fit on that?
That's a good question because I hadn't tested that out. I was like, oh, I could probably just sew it on. Let me see. I've got one that I started working on that I never finished. Is that a leaf? I live in the friggin' woods. Yeah, it'll fit. It'll fit fine. It'll be smack dab in the middle. So this is one that I was working on. Let me get it not crooked. There we go. This is one that I was working on. How is it still crooked? Which way do I need to go? There we go. One that I was working on, and so all this white on the edge is going to be cut off before I sew it on. So it'll be just a tiny little symbol right in the middle. If I can ever hold it not crooked, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so I think it'll be fine. And I'll just sew it on like I did with the other one. I think the only issue I might have is like the texture of the bobble might make it a little bit more difficult, but
That's what I was thinking,
oh.
because with the knitting, you were able to sew it snugly to the
Mhm.
knit fabric, but with the bobble fabric, Is it going to be kind of wobbly? Is it going to sew on well? You might want to try that before you do a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
this was
those.
my prototype one anyway because the I got the buttonhole a little low because I
Hmm.
at theirs didn't have as many rows as mine because I'm specifically doing the rainbow, and so theirs is they did a solid color, and so my buttonhole ended up a little low. So this is my prototype one. So I will try to sew it onto this one and see how it hangs. I'm also wondering if maybe I could just make it like a charm somehow, and then just like hang it on there. I'll see. But yeah, that's what I got done this week. That and moving a house. Oh, and my brother's Christmas present to me came in the mail. Oh, let me see if I can get it up. Uh,
For a second, you said a brother. I said, you have a brother? My you, my
I'm gonna
brain
tell
it
him you said
tripped.
that. I'm gonna tell him you said that. He's gonna be so upset. He's gonna be so upset. It's gonna be hilarious.
Don't do that. He already feels bad. Like I pay attention to y'all more than him.
Which doesn't make any sense considering he lives in the house with you.
And we share meals and cook together and play cards. But so, what is this dagger to kill vampires?
No, it's a yarn thingy. It's a yarn spinner. So it spins, and you put the. It's got like another peg, and then the hole there, and then you put the skein of yarn on it. Are you? Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
I've never seen one before.
Really? It works better with like the smaller skeins of yarn. Um, but it would work better if this skein of yarn. Actually, let me get one of the full skeins of yarn right here. There we go. I had some charcoal right behind me. But this one is going to blend into the background. There's a persimmon skein. So I've got a persimmon skein. And then you don't do the center pull, you do the string that's on the outside. And then you stick the struggling, stick it in there. And so then as you're pulling the yarn, you sit this on the table, you're pulling the yarn, and it'll
Uh-huh.
spin like this. So you're not having to, like, because I will constantly be like unraveling and
Mhm.
stuff. And so it'll just spin. So nice.
Do you not use the center pull?
I do use the center pull, but then unless you're planning to work all the way through and finish that skein, like there's a certain point where you get to when you're using the center pull. Because that's the only reason I'm not using the yarn winder for this one is because I already started the center pull and I didn't feel like cutting it and trying to tie off again doing the outside. But at a certain point where you're doing the center pull, it all collapses in on itself and becomes a tangled
Mhm.
mess.
Yes, it
Whereas
does.
if you do the outside winding, then it's less likely to do that
Can't help myself. I use the center pull all the time.
because you don't have a fancy yarn spinner.
No, just because I use the center pull all the time. Even when I roll a ball of yarn on my hand, I make it a center pull.
Because you don't have a fancy yarn spinner. If you had a fancy yarn spinner, you'd probably stop making that center pull and just use the yarn spinner.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, that's all I've got crocheted today, and all crochet related things. Other than, did I have anything else on the list? Because our list is pretty
Nope.
small today.
Yeah, it's pretty small because we haven't been doing anything.
Mm-hmm. It's been a tired week.
That's all the crafty stuff.
Okay,
So, what have we been reading, watching, listening to?
what have I been
Or do we
reading,
want
watching,
or
listening
do we
to?
want to do gaming first?
Yeah, let's do gaming first. I watched anything? I don't know. I'll think about that, and we can
Yeah,
cycle back
let's
around.
do gaming first because all I have for that other category is just random. So let's just do gaming first.
Okay.
So, talk about Beacon Pines, ma'am.
This
While I
is the
eat my
perfect
piece of fruit
time
because I'm
to
trying to be
do
healthy.
this. You're good. This is the perfect time to do this. So, Beacon Pines is a game. It's been free on Xbox Game Pass for a little while, and so I've had it sitting in my thing, and I'm like, I know like generally what it is because it's like Because I'd seen people play the demo of it previously.
Yeah, I
It's
played
basically,
I played the demo
yeah, so
during
you know
like the
it's
last
basically
during one of the Steam Next Fest last year.
hmm so you know that it's basically like a choose your own adventure book kind
Yeah.
of game.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. So I had been putting it off because I thought I was going to play it with one friend, and then that friend was like, "This isn't really my jam. You do you." And so then
When you say play with, I can't remember. Is Beacon Pines
no,
a
it's a single player
co-op
game.
or is it or play with like you and I play with
Yeah.
where one of us sits and plays the game and the other one gives their input?
Yes, we're not doing co-op. We're doing co-play. What would you call that?
I don't know what you would call that because I haven't really heard others talk about how they play games like that, but we do play games like that. But
Ooh, you're breaking up again.
I've
You
not heard of.
Okay, there we
What?
go. I think you're cleared up now. Sorry, your internet was like going in and out, and I know that from looking at past streams, when your internet goes out, it's not just me.
Which
If
makes
I
no
hear you
sense
breaking up,
because
it's
I'm
not me.
sitting on the
Yeah,
computer that that's Ethernet.
yeah, and you're the one that set up the stream, and so why you start breaking up, and I'm coming through crystal clear on the live stream, I have no clue. Have I lost you again? Oh, oh, is this is this the end? Have I lost my mother? Hello? Oh, I see movement. Maybe if everybody wishes real hard, her internet will stop being crap. Well, I'll explain to you guys since she played the tutorial. Oh, wait, are you back now? Oh, can you hear me? I can see you.
Okay, yes, we're back now. I'm sorry. I forgot that I run Spotify in the background on my work computer.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't do that
It was slowing everything down.
on when you're doing StreamYard. So that's my fault. Sorry.
You're good. I'm still wondering what because I've seen people
Yep.
do like maybe not co-op, but like but it would be
Hopefully
parallel
it'll all
play.
catch itself. Hopefully
Oh, it sounds like it's almost catching up. We're still a
it's
bit
gonna take
off.
a second for it to catch itself up.
Okay. Oh, I think hopefully we're caught up now. But I'm still thinking of what we would call that because I know it's not parallel play because parallel play is specifically when two people are playing their own things just like in the same room, and it's not co. It would be co something. I feel like because co-op is you both playing the game. But I've seen like streamers when there's two streamers on one channel and one person will play the game and the other person like puts in their input on the game while they're like talking to chat or
Yeah.
whatever. I just don't know what to call it. But
I watched the Game Grumps do that playing
yeah,
what was that restaurant game? One of those restaurant games.
probably played up.
No, it was a restaurant game that I actually played. That's the only reason I watched the Game Grumps
Was it
because you know I'm not a Game
Overcooked?
Grumps person.
Yeah, I know you're not.
No,
Now I'm wondering what game they
no.
played because I love restaurant games. But anyway, so this game is for anyone who doesn't know, and she's got the thing up right there so you can see kind of snapshots of the art style, which I really love, like especially the character art. I love the character art so much. But it's basically a choose your own adventure game where you start off the little kid with the horns. There he goes on the left side with the sweater on. His name is Luca. And you start the game by finding out that his father died a long time ago and his mother is missing. So already big mystery there.
Oh, sidebar. The kid with the horns. I never thought about it till just now.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the kid in that Netflix show that was based on the comic book, where there's this event that goes on in the world and babies start being born with like pig snouts and horns and I forget the name of it. You know the show I'm talking about?
I think I know what show you're talking about. I never watched the show, but my friend Gilbert watched the show. You know
Oh,
Gilbert.
your
Yeah.
father loved that show. We watched
I
it all
never
the way through
watched
and
it.
we're waiting for the next season.
Oh my god, maybe I'll go check it out because he wasn't a big fan of it, but it sounded interesting to me. I just haven't gotten around to watching
But the
it.
kid with the horns right there reminded me all of a sudden in a flash of the kid
Mm-hmm.
in that Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the name of it. Sweet Tooth. He reminds me of Sweet Tooth.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what kind of animal he is because he doesn't quite look like a because everybody else because there are other animals in there that I can tell very specifically. You're a dog. You're a squirrel. There's a bat. Like he looks like a dog. He looks like a big shaggy like sad dog right there. And then that's his grandmother. So what kind of animal are they? Because they don't seem like deer. Anyway, so it's a choose your own adventure. You can see like the book layout there. And so while you're going through the world, you'll collect those things at the bottom are charms. While you're going through the world, people that you talk to, things that you interact with and stuff, you'll end up with certain charms. And then when it goes time to make your choice of what you're going to do, and like when there's a big situation turning point, and when it goes time to make your choice, they will give you the appropriate charms that you have available. So if you missed interacting with something or talking to someone, or if you just haven't gotten to that section yet, you might have to use a subpar, like not as good charm to get through the story. But as you get through that branch of the story that maybe is not your favorite, is maybe not exactly where you wanted to go, you will collect more charms, and then you can go back and use different charms once you have finished that branch of the story.
Uh-huh.
Which is pretty fun. And so my friend Arialdis and I are playing it. We started playing it the other day because my friend Gilbert was like, "This
Why
is
do
not
you
my deal."
always call him by his full name?
I don't know because I always call him Ari, but I don't know because he also introduces himself as Ari. I don't know. I don't know why I'm out here calling him by his government, but so my friend Ari and I decided to play it because we were trying to do something to cheer him up. He's the one that had the life event. And so we were trying to do something to kind of cheer him up and distract him and stuff. And so we started playing the game. And oh my goodness, plot twist after plot twist. If you want a game that will make you utter the words secret double agent, because that is definitely something that I said earlier today. Because we were playing through and there was like a big reveal of somebody taking off a mask. I'm like, oh, they're a secret double agent for this other company. It's so dramatic.
Yeah, I
It's so
played
good.
the demo and I was like, "Oh, this is sweet." I would play that if somebody gifted it to me or I got it for free. And then I started hearing people go, "Oh, this is kind of creepy." I'm like, and like even in the Steam description, it didn't used to say creepy when it was first up there. It says creepy now.
It gets crazy after because I'd be willing to play this game again. Ari kind of only wants to go through one storyline and like finish it because apparently he never had choose your own adventure books as a kid. So that is now my mission is I've got to find him a choose your own adventure book. But he never even played those books. But when I played Choose Your Own Adventure books, I don't know about you, but when I played Choose Your Own Adventure books, my thumb was firmly stuck in the decisions that I made, so I could read through, get to the end, go back to that decision, and follow every single pathway. I would
Well,
read every single page of
I
that
am
book.
a bit old for classic choose your own adventure books. I
Mm-hmm.
have, however, played a game book
Mm-hmm.
where you had an eight-sided die
Ooh, fun.
and you had to roll the die to decide what you were going to do in the game. So
Ooh.
I feel you. You want to go back and try the other
You want to
decisions.
get every single. I want every option. I want every dialogue. I want to see how this could play out in every scenario. When I had Choose Your Own Adventure books, every page was read. This book was not done
Mhm.
until every page was read. And
Mhm.
so that's what I want to do in the game. And he's like, "Nah, I just want to get to like the end, like the good
Mhm.
end." And I'm like, "You don't understand." So once I
So
finish
I don't
playing,
know if I made I'm kind of like him. If I made it to the good end and it was very clear that that was the good end, then I'd probably stop. If if I made it to an end where it was kind of ambiguous, then
mhm.
I might go in try it again and go in another direction just to see what else might happen. Cuz
Well,
like for instance, my
mhm.
favorite game,
Uh, uh,
Wildflowers. Shut up.
I feel
But
like I've played the game at this point.
or even Stardew Valley.
Mhm.
People play Stardew Valley over and over because they want to date the different people
Yeah.
to see what it's going to be like to date the different people. So to me, going on the different paths in the choose your own adventure is like that. You
Mhm.
want to date the different people to see.
There's also like information that you gather, even like especially with this game, they did it a very interesting way that is good. That like I understand Ari wanting to just get to the end, but the way that they set it up, even if I wasn't already the kind of person that wants to get all the endings, it makes me want to go through because even if you go down the route of a bad end, even if you make a mistake, you usually end up getting some sort of charm out of it, and then that's a
Mm-hmm.
charm that you could use with something else. So it like kind of
Mm-hmm.
makes you go through all of these ends before you finished it. So once I finish playing with him, I would absolutely replay this game. Like if we could find a way to
So
play this
this
on Discord, I
so
would absolutely play this game with you.
so this is all reading. It's not like I gotta grow some crops or I gotta go in a mine or I
The
gotta
the hardest thing that you will have in this game is every once in a while you because you play as Luca, every once in a while Luca will need to go pick up something, which is a single button press, and then huck that thing at something else. And
Mhm.
because of the way that it's set up, because it's kind of like the 3/4, like you're sort of looking down but not like top down, like because it's this weird like 3/4 angle, sometimes it's a little hard to see where he is aiming at. But other than that, and like every once in a while I have an issue with like the depth perception of how far I need to be to like walk through a certain path. But other than that, that's it. It's all talking, making choices, figure stuff out, and like theorizing. That is what I'm having fun doing
Okay.
because Ari was getting so frustrated with me because at one point, so we got some more dialogue that like gave us some more information, and at one point I looked at him and I'm like, okay, but what if? And he's like, Maya, if you don't press this button so we can get the answers. Because I kept like stopping mid dialogue because every time we would get new information, I would have a new theory. Because I'm like, oh, what if so and so is working for
Okay.
this company and this and that? It's so fun. I'm enjoying it. So I would,
So it
I
is
haven't even
twenty
finished it. I would
dollars
highly
on
recommend. Oh, go
it's
ahead.
$20 on Steam. I just added it to my wish list. So and say I would like something off of my Steam list. I told your brother the
Mm,
same thing, but I'm telling you so you can work, because you guys worked together to get me my iPad for Mother's Day one year. So I was like, well, if you guys are going in together or something, this is kind of what
mm.
I want is stuff off of my Steam wish list. And he's like, we're not going in together to get your gift. I said, but you've done it before. And he said, yeah, when we were all living here in the same house. So
It is
I'm
easier
like,
when we're in the same
great.
house. Yeah, we'll figure it out because I want, even if
So
I have
nothing
to
off my
figure this out to get this for you, I want you to play this game and I want to see you play this game so bad because it's so good.
Well, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Anything while I'm pulling up what I played this week, are you playing anything else?
Not really. I think that's the only thing that I've been playing. I haven't been playing very many games lately. Have I played anything else? I've got my Xbox behind you guys, which is why I'm like leaning up trying to see. I downloaded another game. I haven't played it yet. It's called like Hi-Fi something, and it's supposed to be like a rhythm game, but it looks also like an anime or a comic book. So I'll come back to you guys with that next week because it looks good.
Okay, well,
It looks like I'll enjoy
apparently
it.
looking my game up brings up all these services for elderly people I've fallen and I can't get up.
Ooh, not them trying to throw shade at you. What
No,
is
because
your?
the game that I'm bringing
Um,
is called Lifeline. So of course, Lifeline is going to bring up
like the life alert
all
stuff.
kinds of yes, life alert, whatever. Okay, why are you not want?
I don't know what it's trying to do,
So
but
life of you are probably familiar.
you are breaking up
Uh,
again. I think we lost you. You're not allowed to stream on this laptop anymore because clearly it doesn't want
there,
to.
right? I know, I know.
It
I
is
see you
trying
moving.
so hard. Yeah, okay, I can see you moving again now too. Yeah, I was about to start rambling, but oh, and we lost her altogether. Oh my goodness. Just as I was about to get cozy and not do anything, I had this sweater sitting in my lap, not working on it the whole time. I wonder what she's going to be. Maybe she's switching laptops. We'll see. But again, I highly recommend Beacon Pines to anybody. I haven't finished the game, and I super recommend it. I'm trying very hard not to give away because there are so many things that are like big twists revealed and stuff, and I want you to be able to experience it the way that I experienced it because I like audibly gasped and like again the word secret double agent. How often do you get to say that when you're trying to figure out what's going on in the game? It's so good. Ooh, are we back?
We are back. Sorry about that. I am not going to try to bring anything else up on this computer today
Ooh.
because it is not cooperating.
Mm,
So, but some of you may be familiar with Lifeline. I'm trying to see if I can bring up a thing on my phone so that you can see it. But Lifeline Plus just dropped on Apple Arcade. For
okay.
those who are not familiar, um, with Apple Arcade, they, in between their originals and things that they bring up, they have been bringing back what they call classics from App Store history,
Okay.
which are games that were very popular or award winning previously in Apple, on Apple App Store, but they were like pay games. They were, they were
Mhm.
games you had to flat out play money for, not free to play games or something like that. And so now they're bringing these into the fold on Apple Arcade where you can play them without having to pay for them
Okay.
because technically you're already paying for the subscription,
Mhm.
which $5 a month is worth it to me. Um, let's see, where is it? Oh, kimono cats. I might try that one.
Kimono
We'll talk
cats.
about that in a second. Okay, so they pulled it off the front page. Now I gotta go.
Now you going searching.
But anyway, so the latest one that they've brought up is called Lifeline. So if you're looking on, if you have Apple Arcade, you want the Lifeline Plus. Anything that has a plus after it means that you get to play it free on Apple Arcade. That's their naming convention.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There we go. Lifeline Plus.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen that game. I don't know what that's about.
I remember this from years ago. This came out, um, it feels like it's been a minute since this game came out because I'm trying to see if they have it on here.
When it originally came out.
Top paid game in 55 countries, App Store editor's choice, millions of players love Lifeline. I can't remember when it originally came out, but in my memory, I might be remembering this incorrectly, but in my memory, this game came out around the time of the first Apple Watch,
Ooh, I cannot place that in
and
history.
I think it came out a little bit after there was, or maybe even the same time, but a little bit after, there was this brief craze right when cell phones got started having plans where you could have unlimited texting,
Mhm.
where there were a few games that were developed where the game would send you text messages
Mm.
randomly throughout the day,
Oh, that sounds fun.
where the game is like the conceit of the game. I'm trying to remember the one that I tried to play years ago that was real popular. I can't remember the name of it, but it was part of what they call alternate reality
Mm.
games, where um they never really took off, but
Yeah.
there was one that was somewhat popular. At least it had a niche group that it was popular with. We'll have to talk about this more next week. I'll have to do some more research on this,
Definitely, because that sounds fun.
but I remember briefly being interested, and there was one that I wanted to play, but there was some reason that I couldn't fully get into it. probably had to do with money because me and money.
Yep.
But basically it's like the basic premise of one of these kind of games is like there's somebody that needs your help, and usually you are on the outside of the organization, so you're a safe person to talk to
Mhm.
try to help them. So then they text you at different times to try to get you to help them with a puzzle or help them. Can you get a bit of information? The game, not this game that we're on now, but the game that I'm thinking of that was popular was
Mhm.
like there were like puzzles where you had to like go on Google and search things and try to figure things
Ooh.
out. And there were like websites that look like real websites, but they were part of the game.
Ooh, I love that so much.
And so you would get texted at different times a day. And I mean, you can set your phone to say like, don't text me after midnight
Mhm.
or whatever. And it would text you different times a day and stuff like that. So this game, to me, I remember when this game came out, I was interested in it, but it was only at the time, I think, only for Apple Watch when it first came out. Because like there's no graphics or anything
Oh,
on
so
it.
you just get your text to your watch or whatever.
Yeah. And so this game is somebody who works on a some sort of spaceship.
We're talking about Lifeline now, right?
We're talking about real life on now.
Okay.
Yeah, at first I was describing just generally what kind of category this game came in. And so I was interested in this game because it was part of that category. But I think when it first came out, it was just Apple Watch.
Okay.
And then I think I didn't even have an iPhone at the time, that I was still using a Palm Pilot or my
Not
Palm
the
Trio or
Palm
whatever.
Pilot.
Quit making fun of my Palm Trio. I
I'm not
love
making.
that phone.
I loved when I had a Palm Pilot. Those things are fun. I was the coolest
I
kid in
loved having
school.
that physical keyboard.
Yes. And the little stylus.
Yes. But anyway, so see, this is you can't even see it because it's dark, but
I just see a little bit of lines of text.
yeah, and that's all you get. That's the whole screen the whole time. So you
Okay.
can see how it would be easy to play it on an Apple Watch
Mm-hmm.
because that's all you get. So the start of the game is like incoming communication, establishing connection, receiving message. Hello? Is this thing working? Can anyone read me? And
Ooh.
then you get a choice. It's a choose your own adventure somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I read you, or who is this? Right, right. Sorry, should have started with that. I was just excited to get a response to my signal. My name is Taylor. I was an astronaut on board the Starship Varia. So I just started playing this yesterday. So I haven't
Mm-hmm.
gotten very far with it. And it's pretty much kind of like a reading the novel. There's not a lot of things you
Yeah.
have to do. It's more reading than anything else, but it will text you at different times during the day. So I just started it yesterday. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because I'm in a different space than I was when I was interested in this type of game 10 years ago, whenever this game came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, but so far I think I'm going to like it. It's something
Okay.
that's not going to take my time. Is like if there's any messages like today, I started it yesterday, and then there were some messages that came through after I went to bed last night. So
Mm-hmm.
I read those messages this morning and made my little choices. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, you're supposed to be trying to help this astronaut because he's crash landed and his communication device, you're the first person he's been able to reach.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's freaking out because he can't find the rest of his crew. So he's like, I should say they because they're not saying whether it's he or she, and Taylor is
Okay. It's
a
a gender neutral name.
yeah. So, but um they don't know where their crew is, and so they keep turning to you because they're like, I'm sorry I keep asking you questions, but I'm really freaking out. So if you can just help walk me through what I should do next.
Ooh, that sounds
Should I
fun.
So that's pretty much what the game is. Should I go look for my crew, or should I go do this? Should I go sleep by the warm thing, even though it's going to give off radiation, or should I stay in the cold on the ship? You know,
I said it
stuff
sounds
like
fun.
that.
Now I'm stressed out that I'm gonna get them killed. Like, don't get
but
hypothermia, but
but
like maybe not radiation.
the plus side is that it's not going to be too stressful for me, because this game is has been out forever.
Hmm.
So, and there is more games. This is the original one, but I don't know if they're going to put out more games. I'm just reading something now that's, I don't know if Apple Arcade is going to add more games.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Um, the company, I'm reading something now here that the company who used to have it apparently lost it, but they just got it back, and so now they're going to put out more games under
Ooh,
that. See, Lifeline established the real-time texting adventure genre in 2015. So yeah, this came out later
goodness.
than what I was thinking, because the alternate reality game I was thinking of came out way before that.
Okay,
So
it sounds fun though. I wonder if I could get it on Android.
yes, it's on Android.
Ooh, I wonder how much it is on Android. Let me check. Because you're getting it for
How much
free
it is
with
on Android?
your Apple Arcade. How many
Two
messages do they
ninety
send?
nine.
Oh, that's not bad. I might get that. How many messages does it send you like a day?
I don't know, because because they kind of send it in a cluster before you
Mm-hmm.
get. Oh, the guy who wrote Wolf Among Us wrote this. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I like
I
Wolf. I like
loved
Wolf
Wolf
Among
Among
Us.
Us. Yeah, I love the Wolf Among Us.
It's like I got, let's see, I got a cluster of three, and then I had to make a choice, and then three, and then I had to make a choice, and then one, two, three, four, five, six, and then I had to make a choice.
Okay,
So like they're not gonna sit. So once it gets to a point, like it'll send messages through, and then once it gets to a point where you have to make a choice, then it nothing else is coming
it
through till you
pauses
make a
until you make
choice.
that choice.
Till you make a choice.
And is it sending like it's properly sending you text messages so you have to respond through text, or is it like you're just getting message notifications in the game?
Well, I'm getting notification. I don't know how Androids work. That you have how you have to set up things, but I
Mhm.
have to set up for an Apple device. You have to tell it to allow notifications. So
Mhm.
like the notifications, like here's my phone. Okay. So see how notifications that come through. So these aren't text messages. These are like notifications from Duolingo, notifications from my weather app that
Mhm.
the rain it's about to rain soon, you know. So they all come through like that. I don't have any
Mhm.
text messages in my note, but my text messages come in that same
In the same stream.
feed, in that same stream.
Mhm.
So it feels like a text message. It feels
Okay.
like if
Yeah,
for
because Android
me.
does a similar thing where we have all of our like we can do our little pull down bar and all of our notifications are up there. I just
Yes.
didn't know if it was still like properly like I put in my number and you are
Oh
texting
no, no,
me
no, no,
and
no,
my
no, no.
text alert will go off.
No, 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 no. But I mean it makes a noise.
Mm.
It makes a noise on my phone. A noise that's different from the noise. Like I don't get any noise for notifications. Well,
Mhm.
no, I take that back. I do get a noise for notifications. And my noise for text messages is different than the
Mhm.
noise for notifications. But the notification noise for this game is different
Different than all of those.
than all of those. So you
Okay.
know definitely what this is coming through.
Mm. I gotta go save my person.
And it didn't wake me up last night.
Okay, so it's not obnoxious.
Yeah, because I went in to see. Okay, let me see what time I can set. Can I set this to not send me anything after midnight, so
Mhm.
that. And it didn't have that option in there. but I think because my phone is already on do not disturb after midnight, I think maybe that's why
It didn't go
nothing
off.
it
Hmm.
didn't go off. So it didn't have that option specifically in the game, but I think it didn't go off because I have my phone set at do not disturb. So if you can set your phone like that, then it's not gonna mess with
Mm-hmm.
you.
Wake you up.
Yeah, because I have my phone set so that it will I only have like 8 people on my preferred people list. And if one of y'all text me at 2 in the morning, it's gonna come through because like if you text me at 2 in the morning, clearly it's an emergency.
Yes.
So I
Or
want
I
to
didn't
know.
realize what time it was.
So I will get a text from you at 2 in the morning, but I am not gonna get a text from
Like
you know
Spectrum or
or
something.
any kind of or any kind of notifications because I have news apps on my tablet and my phone, and I really don't need CNN telling me that there's an earthquake in Russia or something at two in the
At two in
morning.
the
You
morning,
you
yeah.
can wait till 8 a.m. to tell me that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so far I'm looking at the official developers site, and so far there are 4 of these games,
Okay.
all following that same astronaut,
Oh, the same person? Oh,
the same
nice.
person, and it's like
So they make it.
Lifeline, then Lifeline Silent Night, Lifeline Halfway to Infinity, and Lifeline Beside You in Time.
Do they have any other games that are like a different character?
And they are all available for Android, and they're all 2.99. They're
Okay.
2.99 each. So
Did they have any for a different character, or do they only make games like that for that specific character so far?
I think this looks like I'm going back to the main site. Let's see. It looks like this is the only game that they make
Okay.
is for this particular character in this particular storyline. So it's like a series. It's basically like a book series.
Yeah. I wonder if now that they've gotten the property to make games like that back, if they'll continue that story or if they'll make a new one.
Hmm.
I thought I was gonna try to do more of this. My shoulder still hurts from moving. I think I might have to sit this
That's
down.
the other thing. This should have gone in life update, but like my shoulder has been my I woke up the other day and my arm was hurting from my pinky all the way across
Ooh.
this outside all the way up to my elbow.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
did manage. I used some like biofreeze and rubbed it all up my arm, smelled like a nursing home, and then took some ibuprofen and did some of this. And the
Hmm.
next morning it felt fine. But I know part of that, although it shouldn't be on my pinky, it's weird that it's on my pink starts from my pinky
Well,
because
are you using your pinky for like tension control?
no, no. No, I was gonna say that I only get this kind of issue when I play games like on my iPad that have a repeated tap, and I've been playing Farm Side,
Hmm.
and that's just tapping,
Hmm.
tapping, tapping, tapping. So I can't help myself. I have a Farm Side addiction.
It's
Please
worth the
help me.
pain.
Please help me. And I try to do it with my left hand because I do some things with my left hand because I know with everything that I do, it has something to do with my hands.
Hmm.
All of my hobbies and my work are all in the same lane.
Yep.
So it's hard to do a different activity and try to avoid the pain because everything's in the same plane. My
Hmm.
work involves me typing.
Hmm.
Okay. My hobbies are playing games on my iPad, which is using my hand, knitting or crocheting or cross stitching, all of that uses my hand. Even if I am reading, I'm reading on my phone, which
Which
means
are
I'm swiping with my thumb.
yeah.
like this. So everything I do involves this right arm situation. So if my right
Hmm.
arm hurts, I'm in trouble. Same thing when my hips hurt is because all of my hobbies involve me sitting
Yep.
and my work involves me sitting.
I feel you because mine are all the same because I do like crochet and then I do henna, which is me sitting beside somebody working with my hands, holding my thing, and then like making jewelry or making crafts or anything. I am sitting down, like doing fine, like tiny fine motor skill things with my hands and playing video games. I play all my games on controller, and so it's working my thumbs and stuff. So I feel you.
So
Ugh.
any other thoughts on games before we move on?
Um, not that I can think of. No.
Yeah, I stopped the tiny I'll just have a few random thoughts. I stopped the Tiny Town Mystery, or whatever that was, Tiny Room Mystery,
Why did you stop it?
I think.
I still got mine. I just haven't played any further than where I was.
Yeah, I just kinda lost interest and I have, um I mean, it's not compelling me. Like,
Yeah.
Farmside keeps calling me and saying, "You have more ketchup to make. You have more tomatoes to grow."
Not the
You know?
ketchup.
It just keeps calling me.
Ridiculous.
Whereas that Tiny Room Mystery, I like the art style of it, but and I would put it back on my phone if I had nothing I mean, on my tablet if I had nothing else to do, but I have other games to play,
Yeah.
and this one is not compelling me very much. So I'm not in a rush, and I had the goal, like I said, of finishing some of these other games that were on my list so that I could possibly get rid of Apple Arcade for a while
Hmm.
and spend that money on something else
Something else.
like,
Yeah.
Apple Plus TV. Not that $5 is going to break me every
Yeah.
month, but
But
I just
you
feel
can't spend money.
and I feel bad, if it's just sitting there and I'm not using it.
Yeah.
So, and there are other games that I feel like I want to play. So so next up on my list is probably going to be, I don't know, I might try Outlanders again, although I shouldn't go back to games that I've already played. I should go to games that I haven't played. Is that
This just in. There's some raucous wind going on outside my window. Sorry, I am so distracted because like I said, we live in the woods and I've got three big windows here and one big window there. And all I'm seeing are all of the trees going like this.
Oh
Oh my,
no.
it's just some hardcore, like not happy fun, like, oh, let's go fly a kite wind, like get inside and tape everything down kind of wind.
Oh no.
I
That
don't
doesn't
know. It
sound
is
good.
crazy. We've had wind advisories on and off for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Like wind advisories. And this is the first day that I've seen, like, oh, this is what the advisory is for. It's just a lot of wind.
So the new games for Apple Arcade this week are Kimono Cats is a charming, easy to play game for all ages. Select your main character cat and a companion cat and walk through a Japanese Matsuri festival,
Ooh,
making your companion happy.
that sounds fun. It sounds cute and fun. That sounds like a pet keeper kind of game.
It's very cutesy.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that looks simple enough.
Yeah, the art is cutesy. I might try that. Although, again, I already have other games on my list. Why am I adding games?
Because you can't stop. It's an addiction.
I tried the Cooking Mama and it's not.
I really want to play the old Cookie Mama that was on the Wii. The really old classic, because I feel like the newer Cookie Mama games are not.
Yeah, the
They're
Cooking
like
Mama
doing
that's on Apple Arcade is not. I'm not feeling it.
all the newer ones that I played are like they're trying to do some stuff and do with stuff, and I'm like, I really just want classic Cookie Mama. I have the Wii actually. Maybe I could find because they would probably sell it for real cheap. Did I tell you when I went to get Just Dance 2 and Just Dance 3, I got each of those games because they're on the Wii that no one uses anymore. No one needs these games. I think I got each of those games for $10 each.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they were super cheap. So I wonder if I could find
I'm
Cookie
really
Monster for the same
surprised
price.
because Nintendo games in the past have not gone down much in price. I remember thinking, "Oh, it's an older game, we'll get it cheaper," and still having to pay $30, and it's like,
They were, yeah, they were super cheap. They were definitely under 30. I want to say they were like 10 or 15, and I got them at GameStop. So they were, I think
mhm.
I got used ones too. So,
I
but they
think
were
GameStop
super
is
cheap.
just happy that you came in their store
Probably. Maybe I should go in there looking for Cookie Mama.
because people are not buying physical games anymore.
Nope.
I think they are just happy you showed up.
Yeah, their store is, I feel like now there's the GameStops are like less actual physical games and more like console components and then like merchant toys.
Yep, yep, pretty
Mm.
much. Farmside is calling me even as I'm sitting here watching you.
If you'll stop looking away from Farmside and talk about whatever you've been reading, watching, and listening to.
Okay, so that's enough of games. We'll get back next week to what I'm going to play. I'm determined I'm going to play something, at least one this week. That is the goal this week. Play at least one.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna try that hi-fi game and get back to y'all.
You'll have to tell me what game it is because I still don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll pull it
But
up.
okay, so general media consumption. What have we been consuming, ma'am? What have we been watching, reading, playing?
What have you been watching, reading, playing? I've been watching, reading, playing TikTok.
That sounds like me. That sounds like me. Um, I've read a few romances, not enough to make it worth
Hmm.
mentioning, really. Um, still, I haven't read any. My goal is to try to read more not romance. And I almost picked up a not romance this week and couldn't bring myself to do it. Um, I did pick up a devotional on Kindle Unlimited Mornings with God, a
Hmm.
daily Bible devotional. So I'm going to keep that as my morning because I have my morning quiet time. So I
Hmm.
thought I haven't done any Bible reading in a while. So I thought I'd go through that
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
as
thought you
my.
already had like a devotional book that you use.
No, I haven't done any Bible reading in a while. So I'm going to go through that for a little bit and see. It's just in the past 5 years, especially since Trump was in office, a lot of the Christians that I see in public have been very irritating.
They give us a bad name.
Yes, they do. And so I've kind of strayed away from any kind of Christian writing or anything because I was scared of what I would find.
Hmm.
But I'm going to give this a try and see how I feel about it. What else did I read? I picked up the book. Where is it?
Well,
The subtle art of not giving a.
who wrote that book?
That is
Because I've
by
heard of that book. I feel like I'm trying to remember where I heard of it.
it's
I
on
haven't read
Kindle
it.
Unlimited. Mark Manson.
Mark Manson. No, that
Yeah,
doesn't sound
it's
familiar. I'm trying to know
yeah. I
why.
thought a woman wrote this book, but
Yeah.
I think there's another book with a similar title that was written by a woman.
And did you say you started reading it or you just picked it up?
I picked it up. It's on my phone.
Hmm.
I might start reading it.
While we're talking about things that we want to read, I'm like sort of scooting my way into book talk a little bit, mostly because I just want to know about like black fantasy books coming out
Yeah.
so I can find because fantasy is my usual genre. But
The
there's this
the the
one
the TLDR on that. There's not a lot of them.
I know.
Continue.
It's irritating. So that's why I'm in the book talk because if you're going to hear about books that are coming out or books that people probably haven't heard of, it's going to be somebody promoting themselves on TikTok. But
Mhm.
there's one book or a series of books that look really interesting, based specifically on the title, and then people reading them saying that they're really good, and the covers look cute. And oh, what are they?
I
The one of them is like that time I yeeted a
knew
werewolf
that's what
out
you
a
were
window. Is
gonna
that
say.
the one? Okay.
That's what you were gonna say.
They've been popping up like all over my
I've read
feed.
all of those.
Are they good?
They are great.
Okay, because I want to check because everybody's been talking about them and everybody's been giving them like flying colors reviews, and so I want to check them out. What are the who? What's because I've been seeing them through reviews of other people. I haven't actually seen the author yet. I don't think
Kimberly Lemming.
Kimberly Lemming. Okay, yeah, I want to check them out. I wonder how
Kimberly
much. I don't
Lemming.
have any kind of Kindle thing. I wonder. You think the library would have that on Libby?
I will buy. I will. Hers are independently published. She just now got a deal with a traditional publisher, and so hers are going to be republished with new covers under the
Uh huh.
traditional publisher. I still don't know that your library would get them. I will
Mm.
buy you a month of Kindle Unlimited if you're going to read a romance. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'll read those because they look really interesting and they're like fantasy, which is
There's
my
more
like
than romance in those.
yeah
There's a whole that at least the very first one, that kind I got drunk and saved the demon. That
yeah.
first one is there's a whole rollicking adventure in there. So I
Okay,
think you would enjoy it. Um well, there's no cover on here. I think because they're redoing the covers.
they've taken down the previous covers.
Yeah, I think taking down this cover because they're redoing the covers. Oh, and I'm not even seeing it on Kindle Unlimited anymore. So they must have took them down off of Kindle Unlimited. Oh Lord
No,
Jesus.
that's the only book that I've
This
really been interested in reading in
this
in a hot
beggar
minute.
child.
Ooh, what happened to I'm not bringing anything else up on this computer because it doesn't like it? How much is it?
Well, here,
You are breaking up hardcore. I can see that it's $10 though.
yeah, they've got it on a pre-order price right now.
Oh, that $10 is the pre-order price.
All below are free to borrow with your Kindle Unlimited. Okay, now that's not mind. Okay. Now the one I clicked on
Mm-hmm.
said I clicked on her name this time
Mm-hmm.
and got the Kindle Unlimited title. Okay. Amazon annoys me sometimes because sometimes there'll be two different listings, one for the Kindle
That's
edition and one for the paperback.
that's ridiculous. They should all be together. It's the same book. So it is
So
available
yeah,
on
that
Kindle
time I
though?
got drunk and saved the demon. So it is available on Kindle Unlimited. It's not, you like to read, you like to do audio.
I do, but I like
It's
I was
not
willing to
on
try to read
audio.
this one because it seems so interesting. Are they like longer or are they
Yeah, if you get an Audible trial, if you get an Audible trial, you could listen to it for free, but
I'll have to see. I think I may have already used my Audible trial, but I
that's
might
on
still
you.
do that.
Let me.
Ooh, yeah, go ahead and close this out. You are breaking up,
Yeah,
ma'am.
my computer is
It hates it.
my computer is having a fit. It is having a fit. I should have just brought
did,
it up on my phone like a reasonable person.
did you say that
But
they're like longer or are they like short books or how long
they're
are
not
they?
very long because I've seen the paperback and the paperback is thin. The very first one looks kind of long, but
Hmm. How
I'm
would
just
you compare
remembering.
it? Oh, go ahead.
I'm bringing it up on the bookstore right now so that I can
Oh, look at how
tell
long it
you.
is. Okay.
Yeah, tell you how many pages it is because I hang out with the 150 page books.
Hmm.
That's roughly where I go,
See,
and
I used to
these
have an
are
idea of what that is, and I do not. I couldn't even off the top of my head
this
picture a
is
150
yeah
page book.
the first book is 185 pages. So it's long, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging. When I
Okay.
remember when I read it, I didn't feel like it was dragging at all. Because
Mm.
sometimes when you read a longer book, it's like you could have left this whole last part out.
Mm.
Like I just finished reading a book which I think was 300, and it's like they got to a point where okay, the couple got together, the curse has been broken.
Mm.
Y'all know y'all like each other. Why is there still another 100 pages?
What else could possibly happen?
There's nothing else left. What is, and they
Mm.
dragged it out and it was annoying. And then that time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf, that one's good
Yeah.
too. That one's more romancy though, but it's
Mm.
182 pages, but that one's more romancy. So you got those two, and then there is a like a novella that
Mm-hmm.
comes in between those two called Mistletoe,
Okay.
and there's another one called A Bump and Boo Hail,
Okay.
and I don't think Two Scoops of Hellfire is in
Is in the same universe,
the same universe.
but
Yeah,
all
that
those
one's
other books are in the same universe.
yeah, I don't think that one's in the same universe.
Okay.
Two Scoops of Hellfire is not in the same universe, but all the other ones are in the same universe. So there's like two full books and two like short novellas
Okay.
in that same universe.
Yeah, because they sound
So
really interesting. I'd like to try to at least read the first one.
yeah, I think the first one is probably the one you would like the best.
Mm.
Probably. Because I think the second one is more romancy.
Yeah, I might see if I have already used up my Audible like first month free or whatever, and see if I
Hmm.
can get that.
Yeah, I've been tempted by Audible simply because they have some originals on there that are like full cast, and
Hmm.
I do like a full cast
I just don't
audio.
understand their business setup. Like, I am paying monthly to have access to Audible, but then you only give me access to like two books
Two
or something.
books.
And if I want
Hmm.
to listen to more books, I have to pay more money.
Yep.
I'm
That's
already.
why that's why I don't do Audible. I just rather go through the library.
Why is Audible not like Netflix or Hulu or something where if you pay, you have access to as much as you can watch or read?
And they did bring out a an Audible unlimited something or other because they briefly did an Audible romance thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they decided, oh, you romance readers read way too much. We are losing money on y'all, and because it was like a $15 a month,
Mm-hmm.
all you can eat, and they were like, oh no, and so they got rid of that, and now I think they have an Audible unlimited or something.
But would they? I'm just thinking, would they not? Because if they made it so that, because that's the only thing barring me from getting an Audible account is I know if I have an Audible account, I'm going to want to listen to more than two books. And
Hmm.
so then I feel like I am paying this money and only getting two books, and it's frustrating. But Netflix and Hulu and all these other places, they have so many movies and stuff and all this stuff. And it, I, let me rearrange my thought process. If they changed the way they had their business set up, I feel like more people would get Audible so that they would not be losing money because they would have more customers,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
I think readers. I think the thing with readers is that most readers are not like us,
Mm,
and they are desperate enough that they will pay that money anyway. And
mm,
Audible knows that, so they just kind of like with knitters and wool. Most knitters are not like us. They will pay that money and pay that $15 for that
that
expensive.
premium merino.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas we are like, bring us the acrylic. Where's the red heart?
Mm.
Because we're not, we're budget over substance, I guess.
So when are
Yeah.
we going to have an Audible competitor so they have to lower their prices to compete with people? That's
Well,
what I
no,
need.
there are other companies out there, but they're not,
That
you
they don't have
know,
like the big name books. They're not the big. They don't have all
yeah.
the big stuff.
Yeah, they have the Audible Plus is what they call it, and you pay $7.95 a month,
Hmm.
and it says listen all you want to a selection of. So it's all you want out of what we've boxed off over here in this corner.
Ooh, that
And
makes me angry.
that's why I haven't tried it yet.
Ooh, that makes me angry.
And then they have Audible Premium Plus, which is everything in Audible Plus, plus you get to do one title per month from
The
out of
rest
the
of the
other
library.
extended
So they
library.
take away your two per month that you would normally get when you pay less than that, and you have unlimited over here, or you can have one of the rest of the library.
Yep.
Audible, this is an official complaint. Audible, I know you're definitely listening right now, and you are the one listener that we have right now. Audible, get it together. I am launching an attack, a verbal attack, so that I don't get sued or anything. I'm launching a verbal attack. Audible, I hate it. I want to listen to things. I hate it. Have a poor people option. Thank you.
The poor people option is the library, man.
But they don't have all of the things.
Well, that's when you have to like get a library card from another county or another state.
I might need to do that. I need to get the library card from your guys' library because our library is teeny, 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 tiny.
Well, I would let you use my library card if I went and renewed my library card.
Ma'am, please go renew your library card so I can use it. You've got Kindle. Please go to renew your library card so I can use it. You're not using that
But
library card.
no, I used my library card a lot for a while, and then I got Kindle Unlimited, and then I went into a thing where I was reading a lot of romance,
Mm-hmm.
and because our library, like a lot of libraries, our library has a lot of traditionally published,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't. And when I got out of for a while I used to read inspirational romance, which is Christian romance,
Mm-hmm.
and then I read traditional contemporaries and historicals. And then once I got out of that and I got into more genre, which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much like alien romance, monster romance,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. You don't get a lot of that at the library.
Oh, so I probably won't
And
even find the books at the library
I
anyway.
don't. Well, no, because fantasy is more traditionally published. But
Mm.
like the kind of stuff because you want to read fantasy light on the romance. I want to read fantasy heavy on the romance.
Ah.
So your stuff will probably be at the library, whereas mine won't.
Then, ma'am, I need you to renew your library card
I do need to renew my library card.
and then mail it to me.
Or renew your father's library card so that you can use his because he never uses his card. So,
Yes, renew his library card so that I can use it. You're not using yours either, though.
well, I would be using mine if I hadn't let it expire. I didn't think it was going to expire because they let it go years and years without it expiring, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, you need to renew your card." I'm like,
Hey, it's been
"I've had
15 years.
I have not had to renew this card since my kids were in middle school. What are you talking about?" And
I
now
don't.
all of a sudden they decide I need to renew my card. What
I
is
don't
wrong with
understand
you?
like. What's the purpose of renewing a free card? Like, why?
What's the purpose of not having you can let me check out books online, but you can't let me renew my card online? How about that?
Also, that get it together.
Because I can get a card from another state online and pay them $25 for the year,
Hmm.
but I can't renew my library card in the county where I live.
We are in the future. We are in the digital
Exactly.
age.
Exactly. I am squirming because my hips hurt, and usually by this time I would be standing up,
You're good.
but I'm
Oh,
trying not to be rude.
guess
What?
what? Oh no! I saw a thing pop up. I'm like, "Doot, doot, 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 doot." This just in. I got a notification on my phone, and I was like, it's the little emergency notification. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be that wind advisory of that weather that I'm looking out my window. Guess what I got?
What'd you get?
Tornado watch.
Here? You mean where you are? Oh
Yes.
no.
So which one means it's more imminent? Watch or warning? Watch means they're looking for it. Warning means they've seen it, right?
You asked me while I got a mouthful of water.
I did. I absolutely did.
And yes, even though it's pink, it is water, people. I put those, electrolyte whatever flavor packets in there.
And then my page went away. Where did Ooh, give me back my tornado watch so I can read about it, about what's going on.
A watch means people should be prepared, stay informed, and be ready to act because
Hmm.
severe weather is possible. A warning means people should take action. They should take shelter because severe weather is happening or about to happen. So you were right.
Okay, so we've got tornado watch right now. I'm trying to bring it back up, but I clicked the notification and then it wouldn't load, and then I had to refresh the page and then it was gone. Let me see. Severe. I'm trying to get it pulled up, but apparently we've got a tornado watch. So my theory
Well,
about tornadoes not being able to pass the mountains proved not to be true.
well, to wrap this up for today, my last thought is book boyfriends. Have Since you've been hanging out on Book Talk, I'm sure you've heard this expression.
I am not.
Okay,
I'm not that deep into book talk.
book boyfriends are. I'm not that deep. Considered I'm a reader. I'm not that deep into book talk either. I get a little annoyed watching little young girls try to tell me what I should read. So, because they all seem to be 18, so I'm like, ugh. Anyway, no, a book boyfriend is a hero in a romance novel that you think, oh, he's swoony. Oh, I would date him. Oh, he's a blah 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 blah. And as you noticed on our rundown, I don't get book boyfriends. I don't get a lot of things that readers do. I don't get a lot of things that a lot of people do. I guess I'm a weirdo.
I don't
But book
understand
boyfriends,
why there's a term for that when people do that with any kind of media, like books, anime, like movie. Like I don't.
well, I'm sure in anime they've got a term for it. I'm sure because like in K-pop, it's your bias,
True. Okay. Yeah.
So that whatever community you're in, there's a term for it. But for romance readers, it's book boyfriend, and that's just not a thing that I get. I think back to when I was in sixth grade, and
Hmm.
all the little girls in my class had a crush on a singer called Andy Gibb. And I pretended I had a crush on Andy Gibb because all the other girls had a crush on Andy Gibb. Actually, I could care less.
I
Okay.
did the exact same thing because when I was in middle school and high school, people would be like, "Oh, who's your celebrity crush?" or "Who's your blah blah blah," and I just like made one up so that I would have an answer every time somebody asked me that, so that I didn't have to keep having this conversation of like, I don't know, like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, I don't,
Yeah, for me, I've always kind of
I don't
gone
know these
along with whatever all the other little girls were doing. I was
people.
very suggestible, even though I think of myself, on one hand, I think of myself as a very, like, I go left when everybody else goes right,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I really kind of do that in my head. In real life, I kind of go, or not just in my head, I say I do that behind closed doors.
Mm.
Okay. But out in the world, I just
You
kind
go
of
with the
get
flow.
I kind of go with the flow. I don't usually like vocally agree, but I'll be like I just don't vocally disagree either.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about, oh, like when people used to hear that I have 4 kids, oh, you must have so much work. Oh, you poor thing. And I'm
Hmm.
like, And it's like, yeah, I'm not cooking dinner every night and I'm not ironing clothes and
Hmm.
I'm not, mopping floors every night before I go to bed. I'm not doing all the housework y'all think comes with
Hmm.
being a wife and mother because I'm lazy.
Also, we
I'm
were
lazy like that.
the best
So
kids on earth and never caused any trouble ever.
okay. But I'm just not doing all the stuff that y'all think goes with being a mother, but I
Hmm.
just nod and smile and whatever. And same thing with book boyfriends. I don't like when I read a romance, I it's like Like you can describe to me what the guy looks like,
Mhm.
and it will stay in my head long enough for me to flip the page. And then I don't see him
And
anymore.
then you have a faceless mannequin talking to this other faceless mannequin.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like you can tell me that the girl is blonde in the book, and she will be brunette until you tell me again that she's blonde. Because in my brain, they're all brunettes
Mhm.
until you bring up something about her being a blonde or a redhead, and I'll remember that until I turn the page, and then she's a brunette again.
Mhm.
You know, I don't, and even with the thing where they talk about representation, it's like, you mentioned that she's a big girl or a curvy girl or something like that, and I'll remember that until I turn the page, and then she's like maybe a size 16
Mhm.
in my head. She's not a, big girl
Yeah.
in my head. And the guy is not a big guy, and it's just it, they're just not anything. They're just I
Mhm.
in my head, they're just not anything. So having a crush on, oh, because he did this for her and he did that for her, and it's like, okay, that's nice for her in the
Yeah.
book. I'm glad that he did a nice thing for her, but I'm not swooning over him because I
Yeah.
can't because I can't see him.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely easier for me to have a crush on somebody on like a TV show where I can
Hmm.
see them, like see the character and see like facial
Hmm.
expressions and things like that, as
Hmm.
opposed to in a book. Because even when you describe the facial expressions, and there are some of the funniest videos on TikTok of like when people describe facial expressions and then the person like tries to do that expression because what does it mean? Like his
Hmm.
eyes darkened.
Uh huh.
Excuse me.
Uh huh.
He growled at her. He did what?
But even with people, like even with celebrity crushes and stuff like that, I never really, I don't know. I never really, the closest I've ever gotten is that there have been a few um actresses in shows where it's like there's just something about her face that I like to see her face.
Mhm.
Not that I am sexually attracted to her, not that I have a crush on her, but it's like her face is pleasing to me,
Mhm.
and I like her to be on the screen more. And the only two actresses I can think of are the actress who played Clara on Doctor Who, and the actress who played the lead in Ghost Whisperer, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Other than that, I just am not. I don't have a crush on people. I don't look at especially even though I am, a cishet woman, I don't have a crush on any of the males that I see. I mean, I may see one and he's, I say, "Oh, he's cute," or "Oh, he's handsome," but like I don't it doesn't go any further than that. I don't have a crush. So I don't understand this whole thing of book boyfriends and ranking book boyfriends. Like who would be the best book boyfriend and stuff like that. I'm like, ah. And we lost her. Okay, so I guess this would be a good time for us to wrap up because apparently my computer has decided it does not like this nonsense that we are doing today. So, thank you to everybody who has tuned in. As Maya slash Artemis would say, um, like this video if you like us. Smash that button if you want to subscribe and be notified the next time we do this thing. But other than that, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for letting us be your background while you eat your dinner, lunch, fold your laundry. Have a good weekend. Bye.